Hi there, Brendan, aka the Savvy Recruiter. In today's video, I'm going to take an example where one of your clients may have given you a job, and maybe that job is something that you've never worked on. So what I'm going to do is show you very quickly how you can understand what's going on with the job, how you can analyze it, how you can pull out the important parts, so therefore you can then build a Boolean search string to be able to search for similar candidates to what you're looking for in something like LinkedIn Recruiter. So if you bear with me, I'm going to switch my screen and we are going to jump over to Indeed. Now I have a particular and personal interest in machine learning, so what I've done is I've put machine learning engineer on Indeed. I'm going to take the first role which I come across, which is this one here, and I'm just going to copy the main information that I would need to kind of read through and to decode to understand what is actually going on with this. Now I'm then going to head over to this website here, which is Glossary Tech, and you can use the CV scanner. And the CV scanner will very quickly scan the job advert or job specification that you've put in, and it will highlight the important parts of the role. So we can see very quickly that this role, we're looking for a machine learning engineer, someone that has worked with natural language processing, that has worked with Gen AI, somebody that's worked with large language models, and we can see down the bottom obviously things like Azure, AWS, GCP, and some of the obviously the cloud environment setup, if you like. Now the very cool thing with Glossary Tech is you can filter using the check boxes on the right hand side. We can see very quickly the machine learning or data science type based terminology which is being used. We can look at the cloud, so obviously they have a heterogeneous sort of environment with Azure, AWS and GCP. We can see again some of the DevOps stuff, so the CI/CD pipeline, kind of DevOps, etc. And we can kind of break down the role and really kind of understand it. So at this stage, I would advise that we obviously read the job spec, that we don't just use Glossary Tech, but what we can do is use Glossary Tech to effectively assist us to understand what's going on with this role. Now, another thing which is very useful is to keep an eye on what is actually happening here. So this here is a machine learning heavy role with some cloud computing experience. Now, what you will find is if this had been a front-end developer role, that sometimes what you'll find is that even though the front-end skills are prominent, something else is actually much bigger, and that is a really useful thing to do, to go away and to be able to question the client in relation to actually what is this we're looking for, and really kind of understanding so that you can actually have the right search, and so that you can search for the right type of people. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to open up my lovely trusty WordPad. We can see that there were kind of four main requirements with this position, or five actually, if we include the cloud aspect of it. So the natural language processing, the machine learning, the large language models, the Gen AI, and the cloud aspect. So these are the areas which we want to be searching around, and we want to see as much of this stuff on someone's profile as possible. We want to see a machine learning engineer, someone that's worked with Gen AI, someone that's worked with natural language sort of processing and large language models within a cloud environment. Now the thing is you are going to find anyone that's worked with machine learning will automatically have this element of it. So I'm going to take this out, and what we're really looking for is this information here. So the next thing that I'm then going to do is I'm always going to head over to LinkedIn Recruiter, and there are two ways which we can build Boolean. So what we can do is we can begin to build out a Boolean string, for example, where we go, okay, so we know that we're looking for this natural language or natural language processing, and we can begin to kind of build this out. We can use some of the terms in the job spec. Is there anything similar, or is there any other synonyms similar contained within this? Or we can actually look at what candidates are putting on their own profiles to build out this. Now, I'm a big believer in, instead of being sort of using what you're given, to go out and find what is actually being used. And I always find that by doing that, you have a lot more successful search. So in this case, what I would actually do is I'll jump into the job title. I'm going to use my fantastic little hack, which is the headline. If you've seen one of my earlier videos, you will know that by putting headline, it allows you to search the headline section of a LinkedIn profile. And then I'm going to put NLP. And from here, obviously we've got this must have, and I'm going to click enter. So this will now search and we will get 69,000 results, and what we will begin to notice is that this NLP engineer is here, this NLP practitioner, and we can see this is contained within the actual headline of the person. So what I would begin to do here from this point is I would begin to click on the profiles, and I would look at, there's really kind of three areas. This isn't the best example, so we're going to move on. But there's really kind of three areas that I look at. So the first one is the headline, the second one is the about section, and the third one is this area here. So from here we had LLM on our lovely little Boolean cheat sheet, as you may remember. So there's LLM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my my Boolean builder. I'm going to put LLM. I'm going to do LLMs. We're going to go back to this LinkedIn profile. We're going to copy this. We're going to put this into here. And what I would begin to do is I would begin to build out this process. Now, what I don't really want to do is I'm not going to split out the large language models and natural language processing. Theoretically speaking, if someone's worked with large language models, they are probably working with natural language processing. So we're going to make things a little bit easier for ourselves. We're going to begin to put this in like this. And again, the same with Gen AI. So I don't need a second or three separate Boolean strings with and statements effectively for this. If I find someone that has that's working with machine learning within a machine learning company that has worked with generative AI, but they do not have NLP or LLM written on their profile, the likelihood is almost certainly they are working with that technology and that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few more. We'll do a few more profiles, but what I would realistically do is I personally would go through the first 2 pages of LinkedIn. I would go through every single profile, and then I would, once I'm comfortable with what I've built, I would then research within LinkedIn Recruiter, and I'd probably do the same again for another page. So again, we're going to look at this here. So we've got this deep learning, NLP, computer vision, and we're going to look at this side of things as well and see if we can find anything here. And I could begin to put in, obviously, sort of various keywords on this search. Okay, so here's another one. I'll put this in here very quickly. So again, we're checking headline. We are checking the summary. Okay, I always like to, even though we will pull up this LLM application, I always like to put in to my Boolean builder the various words, even if it contains part words we're already searching for. I like to kind of just double check. Right, we've seen deep learning multiple times already within profiles, so we are going to include that because we've seen enough to kind of go, if someone's working with deep learning but they don't have natural language or large language models, the likelihood is they probably are working with this as well. So again, we'll do a couple more. So again, here's this deep learning. We're going to look at this neural networks. We can see very, very clearly that this person is working, obviously, with this. And we'll find one more. What I'm not going to do is go through 2 pages because we want to make this short and precise. Now, I try to avoid words like machine learning within keywords, and the reason for that is because it is a really large, all-encompassing term, and we could find lots of different types of people, but what we're not really doing is narrowing anything. So if we put, did we have this generative? Generative, yes, we did. Right, so again, this is something that we could do here. Now, another very cool way to be able to kind of to build this out effectively is we can use ChatGPT as well. So here is a prompt that I built, which is act like an experienced recruiter. You know how to search for people and find more candidates than anyone else. You're looking for a machine learning engineer. The machine learning engineer needs to have worked with generative AI. If the person did not have the word generative AI on their profile or CV, what other words could they have instead that would strongly suggest that they've worked with generative AI? Give me 10 examples of this. So what I'm going to do is show you how this works as well. And we are going to open up here. We're going to copy this into here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste it and put it into here. So as we can now see, we are beginning to get lots of various words. So from here, I'm now going to go back to my trusty here, and I'm going to very quickly clean this up. Because these are different. Obviously, we've got transformer models and then different types of transformer models here, and we've got things here where we would want to search them separately and not as all one keyword. So what we're going to do is take this out. We would do this, and this is very easy to build. Right, we're going to take this out because we know that we've got this. We've got this, and we'll do this. Now, a really cool thing about this is you can just put in, give me 5 more, and it will pull out 5 more effectively. So this unsupervised, and this is a kind of another way, but depending on your knowledge effectively of whether this is, you know, you need to be careful effectively as to whether this is relative and within context. But we're going to use this as an example. We are going to go back to here. And so it's going to add another 2 rows. I'm going to copy and paste this into here. And now we have a really nice Boolean, and all we do is copy the Boolean here. We're going to delete this. We're going to put this here. We take out the last or. And now we have a really nice pre-built Boolean string. And I can now put this into my keywords. So what this will begin to do is filter down effectively the types of people that we're looking for. If I was, so again, I'm still going to keep this headline in. I might switch this out and change it to machine learning after, but these are the type of people which I'm going to begin to go through. Now, what I would probably do is put an and in here and look for something else, because 68,000 results is a huge amount. But if this role was based in London, for example, we could have a look in London. We have got a Boolean string which has been built by using people's profiles with words that they effectively are using on their profiles to describe what it is that they do. We've also then elevated that using ChatGPT and put in a bit more of an advanced prompt to find further synonyms. And then we can begin to go through these people here. And as we can see, we have a machine learning engineer at Radar. If we click through, and then hopefully if I go very quickly onto this, and so we have, what do we have? Do we have anything here for this? So here's Gen AI. Just wondering if we have any pre-built. This will do, it'll give you the idea, but we can see very quickly with this machine learning, generative AI, deep learning, natural language processing, so LLMs. So this person here, he's been working at this company for 2 years, 1 month. He looks pretty bang on effectively in terms of what we are looking for. And again, we can go through this person here. So a principal machine learning scientist, probably not the right type of person if we were looking for a developer. But we can keep going, and obviously if we find in this, obviously what I would then do is we could you know, move into here, and we can go engineer or developer. We need to put it in brackets, otherwise we're going to click enter, and what we can now do is we've now moved it down to a manageable amount. So 416 results, all of these people are engineers or developers, and we can just go through them. We can click on, let's just check another person. So here's Nora, she's a machine learning engineer, full stack software engineer, working with LLMs. She's not been there very long, so whether you'd want to contact her is something else. But moving on to this person is a machine learning engineer. We can see this natural language processing, this deep learning kind of flavor that we're looking for. Now we're still going to have to go through, we're still going to have to read the profiles, we're still going to have to source, but that is how to understand very, very quickly a job spec, and it's super useful to use something like Glossary Tech if we have never worked something similar before that, to understand at least as a baseline of what's going on. And then the most efficient way to build out a Boolean string is to use candidates' profiles to do a search and expand your search and build your Boolean string using people's profiles with the words that they describe. I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, please reach out. Happy hunting.